Hello and welcome to another episode of Casting Views, a podcast that takes a topic each week and, as the name suggests, cast views. This week I've already got a massive smile on my face because my guests, you've heard them on here before, so you'll have heard them together the last time on the origins of phrases, which I've had at least two people say they want a sequel, and one of them may be me. But also you've heard one of them the last time, a couple of months ago, having his mind wiped. It's Joey and Alex from the Game Club Pod. So hello to the two of you.
Hello.
Hi Dan, lovely to see you, lovely man.
I need to sort of come up now with some superlatives for the two of you because you're always far too kind to me on your episodes. I've definitely had people say they want another episode or they really enjoyed the origins of phrases. I'm not sure if it's for Joey, your outlandish history lesson, but...
My made-up famines. I've slept more since we recorded that, so I think I might be a bit more level-headed today.
Tamed down. And Alex, how are you doing?
Not too bad. I tripped up on the way home from work, so I've got a very sore ankle.
Ouch.
And you had a big sip of tea before he started that. So
Yeah, I
not
timed
bad.
that perfectly. Just brief, so like I said, this is going out November-ish, so how is the Game Club Pod? I'm asking you to go into the future now to tell us how it is.
Our latest episode that's come out at time of release hit 10 million listens, which is great.
Nice.
That's happening.
We've been
in the future.
nominated for several Emmys, which is impressive because we're not a movie.
and we've kicked him out, so it's going really well.
It was about time.
No, it's good. We've had big change at the Game Club Pod. We are back to a cast of 3. We are gearing up for Podmas, which, Dan, you know, I think Alex is stressed about Podmas. I think we've said already, if we haven't, this is your exclusive, Dan. We're doing every single day in December, apart from Christmas Day.
I think that's incredible.
Incredibly stupid, maybe, but it's going to be an effort.
Maybe we can link up again in January to talk about...
Well, this
Have a therapy session.
This has been recorded the day after World Mental Health Day, so that's very kind of you, Dan. But maybe, Casting Views listeners, maybe you'll hear a very familiar man in the form of lovely Dan on some of those Podmas episodes. Who knows?
You never know.
Definitely not us because we've not planned anything yet.
That is not true.
I was going to say, when we talk about how it's gone, you probably don't remember, but there was a music channel on the old satellite TV called VH1. So it was almost the antidote to MTV, whereas MTV was so cool it hurt. VH1 was more, I think, for your discerning listener or older listener. But they had a series called Behind the Music, I think, behind bands that had either fractures, split ups or things like that. So yeah, I'll interview you two in separate about Podmas.
It just cut to a clip of me, like some dramatic music. And I just really wanted to kill Alex. And then one of Alex going, I don't know how I didn't kill Joey.
We're just silhouetted on a red background with a voice change, which was like, I don't know how I did it. It just happened.
But if you could do it still in your Christmas outfits with like little Julie Bell on the hat, that'd be brilliant.
Alex, did you spit your tea?
Nearly.
Good man.
If that's herbal tea, that's expensive. Don't be spitting that.
It's the idea of Joey in a Christmas hat and nothing else.
Nothing else, yeah. My jingle balls.
And I'd also forgotten, that I'm signed up for Podmas. I can't remember what I'm doing, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, we should probably start getting on with this, right? But before we do, we're going to hear a promo from a friend of the show, friend of yours. It's one of the nicest guys in podcasting. It's got one of the, well, for me, because you two have seen me, I'm in envy of his awesome hair. You could say I should forget about his hair, but I can't.
Can I just say, before you even get into it, I love this man. Love him with all my heart.
He's all right.
Whoa, you take that back. He's better than
diamond.
all right.
He's a diamond. And I think I've taken to call him jovial. So, yeah, we're going to hear from jovial Josh and friends over at Talking Smack.
Hey, Josh, I'm finally ready to do something fun every Wednesday.
Alex, finally. We're going to talk superheroes, movies, animation, comics, and much, much more, right?
Yes, but we're also going to talk Star Trek.
Make it so, my friend. Catch Talking Smack every Wednesday on your podcatcher of choice We will see you there, smackheads.
Right, we are back, and we're going to talk about TV and film cliches or tropes, that kind of thing. And it's been something that's been in the back of my mind for, I'd say, about a year. I just wanted to form it into an episode. And after your performance on the origins of phrases, I thought I couldn't think of two better people to bring back to find out what kind of, not necessarily grinds your gears, but it's those TV and movie cliches, either that make you roll your eyes or sort of groan out loud. And it kind of starts with me, and I know you two have heard this so much from me, but it all stems from me, from I call it the empty coffee cup acting. So we've all seen it, the two characters or a character in a show will get a takeaway coffee, and you can blatantly tell there's nothing in it. And they're almost like, one scene in particular, it's an episode of Scrubs, and I love the show. Turk and JD, I think they're outside, and I think they go to a stand, they get coffee, and Turk literally just like almost like puts it up like he's downing a pint. Clearly, I mean, that's full of scalding hot liquid, right? So you know there's nothing in it.
But they work in a hospital, so if he is going to pour scalding hot liquid all over his face, he's in the right place.
Yeah, that's true.
And the funny thing is, when you see it, you tend to see it all over the place. Now, Alex, you said something funny yesterday when I brought this up. What was it you said?
I think I sent Dan a message, something along the lines of, it's never bothered me. I knew it was a thing, but it's never bothered me. But now that you've mentioned it so much, I can't unsee it.
I think every single one of mine is going to do that to you and your listeners, Stan.
Yep.
Well, it did make me think that this is what's going to happen. But the thing is, it's like, I get it, right? They're doing many scenes, or they can't be burning their lips when they're drinking coffee. So I'm thinking, do we really need to see them buying coffee if they're not going to be real? Is that an integral part of the scene? So, yeah, so I've got a list here. I thought it was kind of quite cathartic. I started putting everything down on paper. So I've got a load. What we're going to do is I'm going to hand over to you two for a few. So, Joey, should we start with Alex?
Let's do it.
If you want to, yeah. I've been watching a lot of SWAT, the US drama show about the SWAT in Los Angeles, and really enjoying it. Great show. One thing that's... I think I might have watched the episode the day after you asked us to be on, and there was an episode where they were defusing a bomb. Now, there's two problems I have with this. The first one is a really simple one of, why do bombs always have clock faces? If you're leaving a bomb in a building, you don't need that clock face. What's the point in it? But the bit that really annoys me is the bomb diffusers go in and they always defuse it on 1 second. And I'm there thinking, if it's ticking down that much, as soon as it gets like 20 seconds, you're going, nah, this is a lost cause, and you're running out. But no, they're there going, I can do it. And then it gets to 1 second and they all, oh, we did it. It's like, yeah, you sure did.
Well, yeah, it's their job. The reason that they do that at 1 second is because part of being a part of a SWAT team in, did you say LA?
Yeah, so the show I'm watching set in LA.
Part of the job description for a SWAT team in LA is to bring some pizzazz to the role.
Right.
It's in the job spec, bring pizzazz.
You really set that up like you were going to say something proper there.
without the clock face, how would they know when to pizzazz it?
But surely you'd think then, shouldn't they be paid based on how early they diffuse it? So if they're doing it in with 10 seconds, they should get paid slightly less.
I think that at the end of the month or the week, however often they get paid, I know the job spec, I don't know the pay schedule. I think that they add up the amount that's on all of the clocks, and then they get that taken away from 100 grand. So if you do it far too early, say you do it with a minute and a half, you've lost 90 grand of your 100 grand.
Yeah, because that's just boring. No one wants to watch that.
Exactly.
It's funny because I had that on my list, so I've taken it off. But it's always 1 second, and it would be so refreshing. I want to see it once with like 2 minutes 24 or something.
It's like, I understand that it's to create drama and suspense and everything like that, but in the future, when I'm part of bomb disposal, as soon as that bomb hits 20 seconds, I'm going, nah, I'm out. See you.
But going back to what you said about noticing them things, but now when I see a digital counter on a stick of dynamite, I start saying to myself straight away, that's going to be diffused on 1 second.
Yeah.
And the other thing with bomb diffusing scenes is, you know, the person with the shaky hand with the clippers because they got to cut the blue wire, and then it cuts to their eyes and forehead, and there'll be a bead of sweat.
Yeah. But I think that the clock face is there because you're trying to blow things up. You're not trying to hit them with the element of surprise. So, yeah, remove the element of surprise and it lessens the blow of killing people.
But at the same time, when you're there making a bomb, you don't want to be wasting your time going, right, how do I hook up this clock? How do I wire this? I know they need a timer element of some variety, but just take the PCB board that has the timer on it and put that in.
Dear Mr. FBI, I don't know why they need the clock. That's something Alex said. Please swat him, not me.
And just think about it. A few weeks ago, we had the autumn clock change. What if the clock was, if it was a smart clock? What if, what if it lost an hour? I mean, have we ever... No, we want the spring one, don't we, where it goes forward an hour? I mean, that's even worse, right? That's going to be...
Don't worry, we've still got 3 hours to place this bomb.
Yeah. I think that's a good start. I think everyone's probably rolled their eyes, definitely, at the 1 second countdown.
Yeah.
Joey.
My first one. Why does no one discuss in TV and film when someone's going to die? Why does no one discuss who's getting what in the will with the person who's going to die? Why do they wait until it's in the room with a lawyer who goes, and Alex, you're going to get, drum roll please, the house and all the money? And Jan's there like, I thought I was getting that. I feel like it's always a surprise to the recipient, the people that didn't get it, and it's always read like a bad reality TV show.
Yeah, I definitely didn't have that one.
I've never been in a situation at a will reading, but I would imagine that most people probably have an assumption or prior knowledge of what they're getting in the will, because it's not something that's a surprise. It's something that you spend presumably months writing and going over and discussing with people. It's like, okay, do I want to give my house to my son or my daughter? Who's going to look after it best? Who's going to deal with it?
As someone who has written a will, yes, I have a will and Dan gets everything, but I haven't told him yet. So, no, but in all seriousness, you have to, it's not just like, oh,
you realise you've just made me prime suspect number one there, if anything.
Look, Dan said it, not me. If I turn up dead, rock up at Casting Views offices.
If I kill Joey, Dan gets arrested and I can take over Casting Views.
Yeah, but you've just admitted it. So
yeah, actually, as well, we've got the Podmas interviews where you admit to killing me. So
yeah, can we move on?
Yeah. So but like, you have to put loads of stuff in a will. It's not like a shopping list of things you want to give to people. It's like a proper legal procedure and legal document. So yeah.
And would I be right in assuming that, let's say you wanted to give your house to me, Joey, you would have to take me to your will lawyer and say, this is the person?
No, I don't have to do that.
No.
Oh, right,
no,
okay.
but if I was going to give my house to you, I would tell you before I did it.
Surprise!
Yeah, like I said, I hadn't thought of this one, but now you're saying it, the other thing about will readings on TV, one is literally everyone and their dog is there.
Yeah.
Right. And the camera's all panning, it goes up and down to all the faces. And invariably, someone's going to be ultra pissed off. Mm-hmm. But then also the shock, you've got like the gardener who did the garden 25 years ago. All of a sudden, they revealed that the person who died had a mansion in the Barbados that nobody knew about, and it's left to the gardener. And then it's all gasps all around.
Yeah. It's it really bothers me. It really annoys me.
Oh, sorry, I thought I pulled my headset out then.
Oh, no, Alex muted his microphone with a funny button on the bottom of it.
Oh, so yeah. Alex, you made me feel bad then. I thought I pulled my cable out.
No, I just assumed you didn't want to hear me burp.
Is this staying in, Dan?
It's going to have to, I think. Yeah. Okay, so Joey goes straight in with the morbid subject. So
it gets worse.
Actually, Joey, I know you've had a few. You've got quite a few, and I've got a lot. So, do you want to do a second one?
Yeah, let's do another one. So I think it's really funny when someone's trying to hack into someone's computer. So let's say I break into Casting Views offices and I open up your laptop with all of your bank stuff in that I'm going to steal. and I think, oh, I don't know Dan's password. So I look around the office and you have a picture of the Eiffel Tower on the wall. And I think, maybe the password is Paris. That was it. I'm in. Obvious clues as to what your password is, being very close to your computer. Or
right next to it.
Or something like, I don't know, if I just put casting views with a capital C and that was Dan's password, which, by the way, Dan, I'm sorry if it is, and I've doxed you.
I'm changing it as we speak.
But no one ever has any of those, where you've got to put like 15 characters and all of them have to be symbols. No one ever has that. It's always like Paris or cats or something really, really easy, or like a complete character trope that
My
they
dog
have.
Frank.
Exactly.
That's so true now. That is so true.
We're going to ruin TV and film for you.
You're welcome.
Do you know what's funny is I'm just looking around my laptop and no, it's definitely nothing there. So I think I'm safe.
Mine is, though, because I have a picture of you, Dan, and my password is casting views with a capital C.
The lovely Dan.
The lovely Dan. TLD.
See, I've got one about hacking. Alex, have you got anything about hacking?
I've got one about hacking. We've probably got the same one.
Okay, so I won't say mine then, but they had to have tried it a number of times first. And then in desperation, the camera then pans around the room, doesn't it? And then, like you said, there's that glaring picture. Okay, Alex, what's your hacking?
So it counts for hacking and it counts for just typing in general in movies and TVs when they just go absolutely ham on the keyboard. You look at them and you go, you are not actually typing anything. You have typed exclamation mark.
And
that's what you've typed.
That's Mancunian for good morning.
I was going to say, I thought that was Joe's password. But
no, my password is casting views capital letter.
No, but it proper annoys me because I'm quite good at typing because obviously I've grown up with computers since I was about 12. I'm quite good at typing. I can touch type and I can blind type. And you just see it on the TV and you're looking at it going, oh, come on. At least try and, I don't care if you're writing a love letter to your long-lost wife. Just type something that looks real.
I was going to say, there's generally like Matrix code on the screen as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen when they ask background characters to pretend they're typing? So if you ever look in TV and film and they ask background characters to type, because they're still recording the sound, they don't want the clacking of keyboards. So you have a room full of people with their hands like this above the keyboard, and they never move their fingers. They just
like
look like they're
Thunderbirds.
puppeteering. Yeah.
I had the same one about hacking. It's like there's that GIF, isn't there, of Jim Carrey? I'm not sure what film it's from. Where it's just
Bruce
at the keyboard.
Almighty.
Or is it Bruce Almighty? Yeah, and that's exactly it. And that's the thing. And it's like everyone says, "Oh, can you hack into this?" Yeah, give me 5 minutes, and they just open a laptop screen and just start tapping away, don't they?
With no details about what they're actually meant to be doing. It's like, hack this, no problem.
It's actually given me another tangent a little bit. I'm talking about the background actors. Have you ever looked at when you've got like panning shots in, like, again, I'm going back to SWAT, but somewhere where there's like a lot of monitors and it's just all these weird, colourful graphs doing that and bouncing up and down and wavy lines and dots just appearing. You just look at it going, what does any of that actually mean? I know they've got to like fill the scene and make it look realistic, but put a pie chart of the weather on or something.
A pie chart of the weather is the best
I
thing you can think of.
I'm thinking about pie, okay?
I was going to say, I want pie now, yeah.
I don't know why that brought it to me, but do you remember what music video was it? Was it Nelly, where she went to text and she's texting in Excel? I can't remember the song, but there's one. Alex, he opens the phone, slides the phone, and then it says, like, I miss you with an X, and it's in Excel.
And that's why he never got the message.
Yeah. Bloody good formula, though.
Yes. The one I've got it's not around hacking, but if I was to say enhance to you, would you know? Well, it could mean anything with you.
Yes.
But you know what I'm going to say? Have either of you got it?
Yeah.
Go for it, Alex.
It's when you've got like a 480p visual footage and they're like, wait a minute, enhance, zoom, enhance, and they zoom in on this little bit of the screen and suddenly it's in 4K and it's clear as day. And you're like, you've clearly never done a graphics design course, because that is not how it works.
Well, and they've come out and obviously said it's not possible, but I love it. Enhance. Can you enhance the image? Can you enhance it? Can you clear it up? And then, the face become... When in the original image you're seeing, the face is like in shadow, and all of a sudden it's almost like they've got a bright light beaming on them, and you can see every feature.
Well, it's like you can sort of do things like that by messing with like the black-white balance and contrast and stuff like that, but you're never gonna get like a crystal clear like head-on photo of them.
I have every now and then on my Twitter, I get like Staffordshire Police come up with "Do you know this man?" And there's always about 6 pixels in the entire photo, so I don't believe that it is possible to enhance someone like in a New York street from about 300 yards away, so it's crystal clear. Unless you have 4K security cameras, it's not happening.
I've always loved that one. It's brilliant. Because again, it's almost like they don't need to do that. They could just get a clearer image, but it's got to give the computer whiz in the office something to do, right?
Yes.
Yeah, IT need a job.
Something to display all of those squiggly graphs on.
Yeah. Joey, what else have you got?
So, the next one I'm going to choose is, imagine you are watching a coming-of-age drama or comedy, and you're sat there, and your protagonist walks in. He's a teenager in high school, but actually he's played by a 29-year-old Michael J. Fox. When actors play characters that are when they're so much older than the character is meant to be. In Back to the Future 3, Michael J. Fox was 29 years old, and he's meant to be playing Marty McFly, who is high school.
Like a rebel 17-year-old or whatever he is.
It happens so often that it just, when it happens and I notice it, I just think I don't want to watch this film anymore.
Well, one of the big ones for that, and people listening, this won't mean anything because there's an inside joke, and Alex, please don't leave the recording, but Grease, the film, is a massive one for that. These are grown men and women playing high school kids, right? that are graduating. And I think some of them were, like I said, were probably in their 30s. And it's incredible that they were trying to pass as kids.
And it happens so much as well.
I was about to call out High School Musical for it, but I've just looked it up, and they were in fact 19 when that was recording, so that tracks.
Were you saying that they look older than their characters? Troy Baker is it Troy? No, that's the guy from Last of Us.
Zac Efron.
No, but what's his character's name?
It might be Troy. I don't know. I've not seen it.
It's Troy something. I can't remember, but
Deeney?
he's seen
Troy Efron.
Yeah, he's Troy Deeney has seen some stuff, and that's a joke. If you know who Troy Deeney is, he definitely has seen some stuff.
Troy Bolton,
he's seen some stuff. That was a lot of talk for that bad joke.
The other thing is where they do flashbacks, like Dexter the series, which I love, is another one. Like they put just a big like mop head wig on Dexter, Michael C. Hall, didn't they? And it's like, how do we make him look young?
There's an episode of Modern Family that I watched recently, and they do that to the guy who plays Phil Dunphy. He flashes back, and he's just got, instead of having his hair pushed back, it's pushed forward in a fringe that goes across his forehead, and he's like, "Now I'm 19."
Yeah.
Don't mind the wrinkles.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, pre CGI de-aging, you had to do what you could, right?
That's true.
Some of it was so bad.
Right. Have either of you got anything on gaming?
No.
I've got 2 about gaming. So the first one that always winds me up is whenever characters are playing a game, they're flinging that controller around, they're clicking all the buttons really quickly. They're moving their hands, around. They're flinging that controller around. And I'm like, you're not playing a game. I don't think you've ever played a game. I mean, if you watch me when we played COD, Call of Duty together, actually, I do get a bit.
Can I tell you, having grown up with Tim, he plays games like that. He does the classic. He puts his tongue in his cheek, and then he'll turn the controller like this when he's trying to go around the corner. It's when he's concentrating, he can't get into it. I would agree with you, but I've seen it firsthand.
Well, maybe I've got to take that back then.
The problem is usually when it's that kind of scene where they like smashing the 4 face buttons as quickly as possible, it's just a character walking down the street and maybe going bang bang, just walking.
It's a menu screen. They're just going through the menu.
But also
character creation.
When you're playing racing games, everyone, if you play it with a controller, does this and turns
I
the
do that.
controller.
Yeah, there might be elements. You might do shades of it, but it's you know what I mean, where they're literally all putting it as close to the TV almost as they can. You know, they're holding it out arm's length. All right, because you've shot that down in flames. What I'll do, the other, yeah, the other gaming one, and it's not so much in older programs because I kind of think it's okay there, but it's now when you see them playing a game, it's like, oh, you beat that level. Oh, you got an extra life. Not many games now have levels, or you don't say, well, you beat that level. It's just another thing. And again, it feels to me like a hangover from like when characters would play, I don't know, Space Invaders or Pac-Man or something like that.
Yeah, I grew up playing Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo SNES. That has levels, so now all games have levels still.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you beat that level. Dad, this is Skyrim.
That's a good one.
Who wants to go next?
I just have a quick question. Joey, we have a video game podcast and neither of us came up with game stuff.
We were asked about TV and film, though, so I
suppose.
immediately steered away from it.
Fair enough.
Okay, here's one for you, Dan. Going back to your coffee cup acting, have you ever noticed when, and there's a reason for this, but it will bother you when I tell you, when you're watching people having dinner in a TV or film, they never swallow the food. They never swallow it. And it's because if you're doing 15 takes, you don't want to be eating all that food unless you're me. And then
Speak for yourself.
But actors spend a lot of time to get like they're looking. They don't need like 15 different burgers. They just take a bite and they'll spit it out and they'll do the next take. But like I said, you won't have noticed it until I say it. Now I have. It's going to bother you.
I'll admit I have, because I think we were talking about it one night when we were prepping for this and you said it. And yeah, I see it.
I think the other thing is as well, imagine you're 2 hours into a recording and you've been eating the food and you're just there like, oh, I need a nap. I've had 20 chicken wings. Oh, can I just have 15 minutes?
I learnt that in Universal Studios, which was cool. The other thing I learnt is another good movie trope. Have you noticed that rain is always white in films?
Do you know, I don't think I've noticed that.
Heavy rain is white.
A camera wouldn't pick it up.
Exactly. The thing they use to make it white is milk. They put a little bit of milk in it, and it shows up on camera. But if you're watching film and it's heavy, heavy rain, like Batman, the new Batman films are criminal for it.
Oh, I've not
the
noticed
film,
that.
it's really white. I don't know if they still do it or they CGI it.
Oh, right.
But the water comes up like white or cloudy at least, and it's because they have a bit of milk in it.
That film set's got a stink by the end of that.
Yeah. You see, I've got a couple of things around food, and it's because you mentioned it, but I've recently just started watching, I'd never seen it, and it's great put on in a background program, was The Big Bang Theory. Never seen it. In that, what I've noticed is whenever they're sitting around eating, it's almost always the same plate of food. It almost always looks identical. I think 95% of it doesn't move, and they're always playing around with a bit of rice. And occasionally, maybe one of them will put almost like a single grain of rice in their mouth, but they're just pushing it about. And I see it every time now, and it winds me up.
I heard a joke about the Big Bang Theory recently. It was, if God is real, then why did he create the Big Bang Theory? That show's terrible.
Oh dear, I was getting worried when you said you got a joke. I haven't got the bleep machine. I haven't got the bleep sound ready.
No, I wouldn't bring that smut to casting views.
The other thing I've got around food, and I know this is being played out as well on TV and social media, but it is so true, and it's generally, I think, and I'll say it's generally like in American shows where it's in American households, they make a really big breakfast, lavish breakfast, loads of things, but the kid or the husband is in a hurry and he has just a swig of his OJ, he has a swig of orange juice and leaves the house when the other person has made a whole plethora of food, and it's like, did they not know their other half was going to rush out, or the kid's late for school? Or it's like they've made the entire contents of a bakery and they just have a swig of their Sunny D and run out.
And off they go, yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine how annoyed you'd be? I've just spent all this time making you this beautiful breakfast, and you want to take one corner of toast and leave the house with it.
Yeah, because it's never like a couple of croissants from the bakery. They've got pancakes and they've got waffles and sausages and bacon. There's easily an hour's worth of prep gone into that, and they're just like, all right, yeah, thanks, bye, toast.
Or are they extremely clever? And like me, I would do that because then I'd be sitting there eating it afterwards. It's like, oh, we can't let it go to waste.
No, he's gone. Oh well.
Yeah.
Very
you know I've got a gluten intolerance. Why have you made all this toast and croissants?
Oh, I guess you'll just have to have the beans. Oh, wait, you can't have them either. Don't worry, I'll look after it for you. Do you want another food one, Dan?
Let's do it.
If a character is buying groceries in a supermarket, what's always sticking out the top of the bag?
It's either the end of a baguette or it's like the floury bit of like vegetables or something, isn't it?
Why is it that? So the baguette one is the one that I had here, and I've got carrots, the green bit of carrots out the top. But the baguette annoys me because it's always not wrapped up.
Yes.
Are they shopping at supermarkets that just have bread out without any kind of packaging?
And the other thing is, it's always on like a weird 45-degree angle. If I'm putting a baguette in my bag, it's going straight down. It's standing up.
It's funny, isn't it? Because also they're always carrying it and they make it look easy, but then when they drop it, about 1,000,001 things fall out of it as well, don't they?
Yeah. Sorry to bring this to some logical reasoning. Do you want to know the reason that it is a carrot or a baguette?
Go for it.
Because your brain has been taught that that's what it should look like in TV and film. And if it doesn't look like that, you become unsettled and go, what's in that bag? And you stop focusing on what's in the rest of the scene. Genuinely, that's the reason.
We've been conditioned to believe that baguettes and carrots need to stick out the top.
Hollywood has broken us.
But also on that, when they do invariably drop the bag, it's always circular things, isn't it? So it's like
Just
oranges or melons
rolling
or
everywhere.
apples.
And then they roll for miles. It's like, I've dropped an orange in the supermarket. I used to work in one. They don't roll that far. They hit the ground, they roll about half an inch, and then they go,
And invariably, one will continue rolling down the corridor, which the camera will pan on, and it will be stopped by a foot where the love interest is, and that's how they meet.
The love interest or the villain, one of the two.
Yeah.
How do you think I met Alex?
Over a rolling orange.
Yeah, exactly. And a baguette that was too big for both of us.
It was actually a cantaloupe that he lobbed at my head, but we'll not talk about that.
I think we should move on. Right. I'm going to put one in here because I don't think either of you've got it. And it's not a cliche as much or a trope, but it's something that really, well, I'm going to say it annoys my wife more so than me, but it does also jar me a bit.
My
and
wife.
And I was trying, how do I, what was that?
My wife.
And I was thinking, how do you write it down? But it's in the shows or films where, you get the real tough guys, the ruffians, they've been around.
The me.
Yeah. But they pronounce their T's. Oh, no, sorry, not yet. I was just saying. they pronounce their T's perfectly, and it's really jarring because they're acting like, oh, yeah, going on, yeah, sort it out. But then every now and then they'll say, sort it out. And it's just really jarring. And the one show that does it for me, and I absolutely love this show, Slow Horses on Apple TV. I don't know if you've...
It's on my list. I really want to see it.
Definitely watch it. It's brilliant. It's so good. There's a guy, but you'll see it. He's exactly like that. He's like the Grant or Phil Mitchell from EastEnders, but then pronounces the T's. And I think they do it in EastEnders. It's like in soap operas, they can't forget their theatre school acting. Yeah. I think that's what it is.
But then, you've watched The In-Betweeners?
Yes.
The guy who plays Donovan, who's the school bully, he is so good because he's proper like, oh, Will, how you doing? Oh, blah, blah, blah. He's proper hard man. And then if you listen to him behind the scenes, the guy has the poshest voice you've ever heard. It's so jarring.
Well, they all do. Do you remember in EastEnders, like Dot Cotton and Pat Butcher?
Yeah.
It's more specifically, if they're giving them that hard person accent,
yeah,
just drop. Don't pronounce the T's, please.
Stop articulating is what
exactly.
Dan says.
Stop articulate.
Articulate.
I'm trying to say it without. Yeah, I mean that word. Fair enough. It's a hard T in it, right? But yeah.
Articulating. There
Yeah.
you go.
Articulating.
Right. Alex, I think it's you.
I don't know if it's a trope or if it's just, again, something I've been noticing from binge watching SWAT. Whenever you have a trend...
Are we on sponsorship for them? I think I'm going to end up
yeah,
watching
yeah,
that
I want to
tonight.
get SWAT. I want to get sponsored by SWAT.
You wanna get
That's not an invitation.
Swanson.
Sponsored by SWAT.
But it's whenever it like cuts to a scene of someone returning home, you know, you're at the door opens and they come in and it's like, oh, hey, such and such, I'm home. That person is always in the kitchen on the island making food, having made food, or is just starting. They're just stood there at the kitchen island. It's like, you've got this whole house. It can't be that every single time someone comes home, you are in the kitchen on the island. You should be on the sofa. You should be on the toilet. You could be anywhere. You're not always in the kitchen.
It takes the drama away if you say, well, are you all right, honey? Yeah, I'm just making a coffee in the kitchen. Bit different to, are you all right, honey? Yeah, just having a dump.
Yeah, I'll be sitting here for hours. I've run out of toilet paper. Can you please pass some?
I've been here since you left this morning.
But it's always as well, like, they're always in the fridge and then they shut the fridge and turn around. It's like, you're not always in the fridge. You can't be this frequently in the fridge.
It's funny because as you're both introducing these, I can see what you're about to say, and it's hitting me. It's so funny. Yeah. Or they'll drop then the bottle of milk as well, won't they? They'll close the fridge and then they'll drop the bottle of milk.
You're home. Yeah, I announced myself when I came through the door.
And
why
I
are you
live
surprised?
Here. And also,
It's
it's always glass bottles of milk.
Yeah. But now I'm going to expect him to say, why did you drop that bottle of rain? That's all I have to say.
Very good.
That's a good one, Alex. That's a good one. So, Joey, what else have you got?
So, I know a bit about the education system in the UK. Don't know that much about the one in the US. Teachers in film and TV have the worst lesson plans known to man. They always go, okay, open your books to page 17. This is really important for the midterm. Oh, wait, that's the bell and the lesson's over. See you all in 2 weeks' time. Lesson plans exist. Stick to them.
There's one thing that watching all those, those American shows when I was a kid growing up, it's the phrase, yep, open your textbooks up at page 24. Yeah, this is important for the midterms. And yes, there's a pop quiz.
Yes, there's always a pop quiz. What is a pop quiz?
I'm going to guess it's not questions about Kylie or Madonna.
What year did Britney Spears release Toxic?
I'd really like it if that determined your final grade. Nothing to do with the lesson.
I'd have aced school, I think, if that was the case.
I'd have never made it to college.
But yeah, poor timekeeping in lessons.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, they're always surprised when the bell goes, aren't they? Because they're in the middle of a sentence. So it's like, how do you not expect that bell to go? You have a clock in your room. Also,
people always look up at the bell when it rings. Like, they work in a school and it goes off about 12 times a day.
What's that? What's that noise?
At the same time. Yeah.
And the other thing, and, you know, with camera will then focus on the clock, and as the second hand ticks round, it gets louder and louder and louder, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like, does anybody else not hear that?
Why is this clock so distracting at the end of every single lesson?
Okay, I love that one. I love that one too. Have either of you got anything about driving?
Yes.
No.
Let's hear the driving.
No civilians ever get hurt in long, destructive action sequences where they car chases.
I didn't have that one.
That's one of my darker ones. No civilians are ever killed despite driving in the streets of LA on the pavement for 10 minutes straight with Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
But a number of fruit stands and empty cardboard boxes do.
And people who are carrying glass panes.
Yes. And they turn around and shake their fist. What are you doing?
People always miraculously manage to jump out of the way, and it's like, if a car's coming down the pavement at 90 miles an hour, I'm not noticing that in time to get out of the way.
With one of those old-timey 1920s prams being pushed across the road.
But also, linking to that is another one of mine. After these really long, destructive car chase sequences, the police never interrogate or arrest the protagonist. They always know who the good guy is and who the bad guy is. And it doesn't matter whether the protagonist has caused millions of dollars worth of damage. They just get away with it because they're the good guy.
Yeah, that's so true. At least kind of in the Marvel films, they kind of address that. They try to address all the destruction that the heroes kind of have done, haven't they?
But also, they're easy to distinguish which one's which. Because if it's the bloke in the spandex and a mask, you can probably let him go.
And the one with the evil laugh is evil.
Evil laugh and glowing eyes is probably a bad guy.
And the one saying, I'm going to destroy you all. The two I had are the obvious ones with driving, but I think it's still worth saying it. Or I'm going to add a third one now. There's the oversteering.
Yes.
You know, they're going down a straight road. The car isn't turning according to the thing, but they're steering. There's the not looking at the road when driving.
Looking at the passenger for ages and ages and ages, yeah.
Yeah, and the one I'll add now is, because you still see it, is the ones with the clearly bad outside footage, you know, as they're driving along.
Do you know the other one to add to that? And I heard this on a podcast. I can't remember what it is. It's Richard Osman's podcast, but they spoke about this recently. They don't do it's like a conveyor belt of scene. So it's the same thing going round and round again in the old movies. Mm-hmm. They don't do that anymore. They have you on a trailer. So the car, they're actually sat in a car that's moving, but they're on the back of a flatbed.
Yeah.
So if you look out the window, you're about 6 foot higher than everyone else. So you can only see the top of vans. So in modern, BBC are criminal for it. If you watch a BBC drama, you'll see the tops of cars rather than the sides of them.
Yeah.
And it's because they're raised on a flatbed.
There you go. One to watch out for now.
There you go.
Yeah.
All of these are ones you're never going to be able to watch any TV again.
Yeah, no, that's it.
I've got another one here I want to say. And again, I get this, right? So this is logical for the film or the show. I get it. But in my head, it still bugs me. Is when you see a busy scene and our main characters are at the back and you've got 20 people in front of them, but you can hear what the characters 20 people back are saying. And meanwhile, you've got people talking in front of the camera. And I get it, because we don't want to hear a random conversation of Joe Bloggs at the bar. But it's again, why not put the main characters at the front? Why does it have to be that panning shot through it? It just winds me up every time.
But there's also when you have that situation and the main character is trying to eavesdrop on someone in a crowded street, they can always hear them perfectly, despite being about 5 foot away and that person whispering. They always know exactly what they've said. And also, when they're eavesdropping to hear information, they always start eavesdropping when the guy goes, so our super secret plan is, they never get it I've got terrible gas at the moment. It's
you won't believe what Linda did last night.
Exactly.
and kind of on this, and I think I put this in the PodPack chat, so hi PodPack as well.
Of the PodPack.
It might have been Seismic Cinema said when cops go on stakeouts and they park literally opposite place they're staking out, and they pull out the biggest binoculars as well.
That's good. Although Brooklyn Nine-Nine was the one show that I remember that didn't do that. They always had theirs quite realistic, and I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah, they had them up on the top of parking lots and stuff like that.
And, well, not saying anything, but I don't know when it's going to come out. But if you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, maybe keep an eye on this podcast feed. That's all I'm saying.
Flying a plane and looking is what I'm hearing.
Alex.
Yeah, I'm going to move away from criminals and the sponsor. Superhero, superpower shows. Some youngster discovers magically out of nowhere that they've gained a magical power of some variety and instantly know exactly how to activate it, use it, and control it. If I could suddenly start throwing fire from my hands, I would not know what to do. I would be lost. Now, it just,
It's true where they don't faze them. Yeah, it doesn't faze them.
I'd be out shaking the hands of Birmingham City fans for no reason whatsoever.
Casting Views doesn't necessarily condone anything that Joey's just said there.
No, but it's like if I said it's like if I went to Joey and went, "Hey Joey, work this nuclear reactor," and suddenly you knew how to do it. It's just
they read the manual, don't they? They read it like a 4-page manual before they.
To activate the powers, you have to get angry, drunk, or horny.
Yeah.
Well, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man does that whole thing where he stood on the rooftop for ages trying to work out how to sling the web.
Yeah.
It's certainly not every show, but it's more often than not.
Can you imagine if every superhero movie had that scene in it where they had to just work out how to do it? It would take forever.
Yeah. That's
Extraordinary does that.
I've not seen that, but
don't know what
it's
that
not one
is.
I'd probably thought of. But yeah, it's so commonplace. Maybe they just look up on Google what
Yeah.
How to control fire powers.
Yeah,
WebMD.
it'll be on a Reddit forum somewhere.
I was going to say r/superpowers.
Right, have we got more? So Joey, what else have you got?
I have 3 more. Alex, I don't know how many you have.
I've got 0 more.
Okay.
Okay, so you go, Joey, and then I'll finish mine.
Okay, so when you have a bully in TV and film, they always have 2 sidekicks, and the sidekicks are always really stupid. And I'm thinking of Harry Potter with Malfoy's cronies, and I can't even remember their names, but they are the ones that stick out to me as like your classic bully sidekicks, and they're always idiots.
Yeah, no, you're right. And there's normally one that's taller than the other one as well.
And then the other one's like quite fat.
They're normally both bigger than the bully themselves, like bodyguards. Do you want me to do all 3 of mine, Dan?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so the next one is when there's loads of bad guys and they're trying to fight one person. So like John Wick is a great example of this. I love the film, but it's criminal for it. There's loads of bad guys. Say there's Alex in the middle of like 15 ninjas who are all going to attack him. Why do they do it one by one? Why do they not all run in and just pelt him? I don't get it.
Yeah, you'd all run in and just start kicking the shins, wouldn't you?
I would, yeah. And then the final one is one of old films. It doesn't happen so much anymore. But did you know that if you want to make a conventionally unattractive person incredibly attractive, you just need to remove the ponytail and the glasses?
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah.
So, Alex, if you don't mind, could you remove your... Not saying you're conventionally unattractive, you're very attractive, but there you go. We're getting the live show.
I'm so jealous of that hair. Look at that.
There you go. I can't see either of you now, but yeah.
That is amazing.
Greek god.
Yeah, look at that. And his eyes like a shampoo.
I can see you now.
Well, I've got glasses and braces equal nerdy and unattractive.
Yeah. I was going to say, isn't that what they did in American Pie with the love interest?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, as much as the film, I'm coming back to it, Grease, is a guilty pleasure for me. I mean, have you seen that? So the moral of the story is when Sandy is herself and very prim and proper, they can't hang out. But at the end of the film, put her in a tighter than skin-tight catsuit and make her smoke and perm her hair. She's all of a sudden really hot and attractive.
Casting Views has just said smoking makes you incredibly attractive. So
yes, I'm in.
So I've got that. To go on to a similar one to you, Joey, where you said about the fight scenes, I've got, and again, I get it because we can't kill the hero, in a gunfight where the enemy, they'll fire clip upon clip of bullets at the hero and miss with every single one, but then the hero gets them with one shot.
Yeah. Star Wars aim is is what I'd call that.
This one, I'm going to try and paint you a picture now. So imagine, generally in dramas, maybe horror, our character is in the bathroom. They've got the medicine cabinet on the wall. It's got a mirror in it. They're staring at themselves for ages. They open the cabinet door, they open the cabinet door, briefly close it, and there's somebody else in the reflection behind her. Every single time. Do not open that cabinet door. It's got nothing good for you when you close it.
That's solid advice. If you are the main character in anything, never open a cabinet door with a mirror.
This one here really winds me up. So, again, picture this. 2 characters, or a character, or however many characters, in bed, in a bedroom, at night. They turn off the light, and the moonlight from outside lights the room up more so than when the light was on.
That's a good one.
And the last one is just because it winds me up more than it's a trope, but it's people who wake up from sleep fresh.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to go.
I just remembered one, Dan, and it's related to that. If you have a nightmare in a film or TV, how do you wake up? You sit bolt upright and you're out of breath.
Yeah. For me, I'm like, Oh, okay. Just roll over. Go
Yeah,
back
you
to
wake
sleep.
up, you go, oh, okay. Well,
I usually
that
don't
wasn't nice.
wake up.
But
The nightmare persists.
Like, people are going to think we're really miserable after this, but I think we're fun. And
Yeah, we're cool guys that you want at your party.
I guess, you know, like people keep saying, there's only however many chords in music and all songs come from that. I think it's most scenes all stem round. Oh, sorry, I've forgotten. Sorry, I've forgotten too. The squeaky gate is always the same squeaky gate sound. You know, the creaking gate. And there's always a Wilhelm scream, right?
I love a Wilhelm scream. Now. I think they're so good.
I think
They're
it's
so
properly
good.
placed.
Yeah.
Well, they're
yeah.
so good that I've put them in our skit for the My Friendly Neighborhood episode.
I know I've put a similar one into a couple of mine. Also, the giggling baby is always the same one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you just hear the same sound effects over and over again. But the creaking gate is always the one. It's like, is there only one manufacturer in all of TV?
And there's no such thing as WD-40.
The thing is, it wouldn't be hard to go out and get Foley of a creaking gate because presumably if you're on a film set, you've gone through a gate somewhere.
Yeah, but those gates don't creak. They're swish.
Well, make them creak.
Well, that's it. That's my list done. So have either of you got anything else that's come to mind as we're finishing up here?
Don't think so. I would like to say that a Foley artist would be my dream job.
I would love to be a Foley
Is
artist.
that the sound people?
Yeah, they're
the
the ones
people who just get to bang things together to make noises.
Yeah. It's like a key on a telephone wire is the sound of a ray gun in Star Wars.
Okay. Yeah, I love finding out these little things. Sorry, you're spinning me off onto a complete tangent now. So did you ever watch Frasier?
Yep.
Yeah.
And me and Justin from the Movie I've done a pilot views on that, so go check it out. I like it. One of my favourite episodes of Frasier was where he does an old time radio drama. You know, he gets half hour and they do the sound effects, and the guy's got the balloons for gunshots. He's got like a little mini door for the sound. You know, he's got the beans in that thing for the rain. And I'm thinking it's just incredible when you find out what really are the sounds we see.
Well, a lot of...
sounds we hear.
A lot of laugh tracks, like on Frasier, are the one guy who's hired, but I think it was Paramount used to basically hire him exclusively. And he had a box, and the box is probably 2 foot tall and about a foot wide. So it's a big, fairly sizable rectangle. And he would wheel it around, and it was called his laughter box. And it had about 10,000 different laughs of studios in it, and he could work it live on the fly. So in the editing room, he would push a button and he would know which kind of laugh the scene deserved. So all of like Friends, for example, they have a studio audience, so they have a little bit of laughter, but the sound quality is really poor. So this guy comes in with his laugh box and ups and increases and enhances the sound.
And on our last episode, all three of us, the origins of phrases, Steal My Thunder, we found out comes from someone's thunder machine being stolen
Exactly.
from him. So
to pay for someone's family during the bean famine of
1984. Yeah, thank you very much, you two, coming on. It's brilliant. I knew you were the right ones for this. We are going to, like I said, this is going out in November, so please do listen to the Game Club pod feed for Podmas. Look, they've said they're going to put out content every day of December bar Christmas Day. They deserve a listen just for that. Come on, content every single day. So, look, Joey, I know you don't like doing this, but Alex, Joey, please do promote the Game Club pod and, well, basically all the other shows on your feed.
Check out Game Club Pod. It would mean a lot to us. We are putting out content every single day, bar Christmas Day. It's a lot of quantity over quality, but come along for the ride. So we also have 2 Blokes from Blighty on a Wednesday. We have our main line. There might be some new ones in the works. We're always revamping and always looking for some fun things to do on our podcast feed because we've got loads of hosts, 3 of us, and none of us have social lives, so we need to fill it somehow. Is that the kind of promo you were looking for, Dan?
There you go. Yeah, no, if you're happy with that. Yeah, Alex, what have you got to say about the Game Club pod?
I mean, yeah, listen to Podmas because we are looking to do a lot of collaborative stuff over Podmas. So if you want to get involved with it, just shoot one of us or any of us or all of us a message and we will try and get you involved. Dan, we know you're involved already.
Dan doesn't know that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Wait, no. I've just realised the folly of my mistake here. I've asked people to get in touch with us about Podmas at the end of November.
Mm-hmm.
Next
it's
year,
all going to be recorded.
Podmas
next Podmas, yeah. Podmas 2025, we're going to do 2 episodes every day.
Yeah.
All of them will just be Alex and I crying.
Or maybe you should do an episode every day of the year except December.
Wow.
All I'm saying is if you're doing another Hunger Games episode, I want to try get past round 1, please.
There is no Hunger Games episode, Dan.
Oh, there we go.
To tell you.
That's fine. Right, but seriously, yeah, do go check if you're not already. Go find them on a podcast platform and press subscribe now. For me, you're listening, so you know where to get me for the pod. But if you want to get in touch, if you want to appear on a show, if you've got an idea for an episode, you want to be on a mind wipe or who's coming to dinner, just search for Casting Views across all social media platforms. Guys, I think this is goodbye for now.
Goodbye, Dan. I'm going to go out in the rain and shout, no.
So you're going to say with a glass and catch the milk. Yeah. All right, look, cheers, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
2, 3, 4. If I want your opinion, I will give it to you. Come on, check what we've got, 'cause you need it. Don't make us get a spark and force feed it. Come on,